it kind of puts it in perspective of what's the most important thing in your life, and it is health. When you look at, say, my life before getting ill, it was 24 years of just purely football, and then it can be snatched away in an instant like it was. And you don't know what's going to happen in that moment, and for the next 6 months football didn't mean a single thing to me.
Must be pretty cool walking out this tunnel, fans chanting your name after all that you've been through.
Yeah, it's obviously extremely nice to kind of get back and try and represent the club again. The fans have been kind of amazing. To finally get back on and put the shirt on, it's nice.
We're walking towards the north stand here, where you scored your first Premier League goal a few years ago now. Do you remember who it was against?
Yeah, it was against a fellow Wales keeper, Wayne Hennessy. Just kind of curled it top bin. Always nicer when it rattles in off the crossbar.
Yeah,
so
the crossbar's still rattling, I can see it. It's a bit minging in it. Should we get in the shelter?
Yeah, sounds good.
Come on. Can you take us back to that moment, 2021, October, when the doctor first used that big C word? David, you've got cancer. What goes through your head?
Yeah, I think it was probably about 24 at the time. You don't really understand or know anything really about it. I'd not been personally affected, like in terms of anyone in my immediate family that had it, so I didn't really know too much about kind of what comes with the word. So yeah, it was obviously a huge shock, trying to get used to what life was going to be like leaving that room.
Had you noticed anything? Were there any telltale signs now you look back that maybe suggested something wasn't right?
Obviously I'm not the biggest and don't weigh the most. I lost quite a lot of weight, even though I was eating a ton and trying to put weight on. Yeah, I was kind of having night sweats, and those are probably the two main symptoms. When I finally told the doctor, he kind of alerted to the fact that it might be more serious than we first thought.
What about your support network? No man is an island. You've got people around you that care about you. How did they take the news, your family? My
missus was away, so I didn't tell her when I was going for the kind of tests and stuff like that, because I didn't want to worry her. But spoke to my mum and dad, told them that what it might be, and I was having some meetings in London if they wanted to kind of come and be part of it. Yeah, it was kind of just all of a blur really. Just wanted to get down to what I thought was going to be the treatment plan.
So you say you didn't tell your partner at the time, but obviously once she found out, I'm imagining she must have become your rock of support.
Yeah, well, I'll give her a lot of credit. She kind of nursed us back to health. Obviously the news is obviously not what she would expect off kind of two people that are like young 20s. So yeah, I can assume it was a big shock for her and a bit of a life changer when you're in and out of hospital. I got engaged in the summer, which 6 years together I think it was, and if she could love us with an extra 20 kg and a bald head, I think it was probably about time. So yeah, to be fair, I loved the girl, so it was kind of a natural progression after 5 or 6 years to try and get her to marry me. So thankfully she said yeah.
And how did it feel the moment that you sat down with the doctors and they said, David, the good news is what we thought would happen? You got
It was a bit of an interesting one again. Obviously they knew I was travelling like 30-40 minutes to the hospital, so they just said we can do it on the phone and just kind of give us the good news. And that was when I was just upstairs in the morning, so then to walk down unexpectedly and basically to tell all the family that were around, there was a lot of tears, and yeah, it was just kind of a relief that it was kind of all done and we could kind of try and move on with all of our lives.
18th of March 2023, your first minutes on the pitch. Both sets of fans stand up and applaud you.
I was absolutely dying to get back on that pitch. It'd been a long process to get there, and yeah, I was just itching to get on, so when it finally came I was buzzing.
People often ask if perspectives have changed after a big life event. Has anything about you, the way you see yourself, changed?
Yeah, I think it naturally does. It kind of puts it in perspective of what's the most important thing in your life, and it is health. When you look at, say, my life before getting ill, it was 24 years of just purely football, and then it can be snatched away in an instant like it was. And you don't know what's going to happen in that moment, and for the next 6 months football didn't mean a single thing to me. I think just naturally it puts a little bit of a different perspective in things, but it doesn't change my ambitions within football. It just probably calms you down a little bit outside.